In episode 4 of the My Haunted podcast, Harry, Brett and I discuss the very latest from the My Haunted project in what has been a very strange summer. And after 2.5 years of investigation, the project is growing.
Boys, this been a long overdue chat. What a couple of months, a lot of highs, a lot of lows. I don't think I've ever felt so stressed in a long while. But, you know, we've got to go through all these moments to get to where we want to, and it's definitely getting there.
Yeah, it has been a while since we've done one of these little podcasts, and so much has happened. Even this week just gone, and we're recording this on a Monday. Last week was amazing with stuff that's been going on. And obviously we had other things going on. We're trying really hard to work out how we can work the mansion into the project. There's a lot to talk about.
Say it's been a crazy few months. It's been a crazy year, hasn't it, with America? I mean, it seems so long ago now that we were actually opening up the manor. And to be honest, I am so glad that those guys are flying now. They've just had Dustin Parry in from Ghost Hunters, and wow, yeah, it's really progressing over there. And you know what? We had another venue set up over here. We got the mansion. But we did get the mill up and running, and unfortunately it didn't work out. And again, these things happen. Like, you know, you said a line, Brett, before, that we are reinventing the paranormal here and what we kind of want to move it into, and it is so difficult, the things that we have to go through.
Yeah, obviously the issue with what we're doing is we're doing something completely new, and 2.5 years ago when we first started doing this, we didn't actually really know where this was going to go. And obviously it's done incredible. And like you said, the guys in America have just gone up and away with it at the minute. They are creating their own fan base, which is just amazing to see. I absolutely love the fact that they're getting the regular guests like we do here at the hotel. And, you know, we will hit stumbling blocks along the way, because doing something like the My Haunted project has never been done before, and no one can do something for the first time and be absolutely perfect on it.
Also, I remember speaking to you the other day, and when you're working on the bar here at the hotel, we're still getting people from all over the country and all over the world coming in who do know about the My Haunted project, but yet most of Chester doesn't, which is crazy. But I think that goes to show who's actually interested in the paranormal UK-wise. I think the American guys are more into the paranormal than the UK guys. You're either into it or you're not over here, and it is frustrating. I also think that, like, you know, we have hit algorithm issues, and we've had some massive spikes on things like TikTok, 3 million views on one video. Some of our older YouTube episodes of the main show is massive as well. But it's also amazing when you do sort of receive the feedback from the episodes, how many people still think the My Haunted project is just My Haunted Hotel. Like, they don't know about the mansion, the manor in America. They don't know about the mansion that we're trying to get open over here. So yeah, it is about just trying to push this now onto everyone, because the way that we're working is the way that I think we're all passionate about moving the paranormal in general into, like, that rational approach, the idea of cameras everywhere, to hopefully move the paranormal into a new era and a more skeptical era, really.
I think you touched on it, Harry, earlier, and I know you've said this before, is the amount of time and effort that goes into this project that isn't on camera. Like, obviously we're here right now filming this podcast, but we've actually been here since 6. It's now 9-10 p.m. and, you know, this is what we've been doing. On top of that, we've been doing half a shift on the bar. There's loads of stuff that goes into this, and Dan, Gibbsy, Saz work endlessly behind the scenes. Ollie is currently building a new website. I think there's hundreds of hours a week that aren't even accounted for, where, you know, we're sat at home replying to comments, replying to emails, and all these different things. And I think it's worth sharing our experience of the amount of work that goes into something like this, because this isn't just a YouTube channel. This isn't just a podcast. This isn't just, you know, a haunted venue you can go to. This is a worldwide project now that is taking so much time and effort to actually even run.
Yeah, Brett, I agree. I said a lot of people don't see all the hard work. And sometimes you get these little snippets of information that we're going to be on a bigger TV platform, such and such is interested in us. And it makes you feel like everything that we do is worth it then, that we're going to reach a larger audience, show the world how the paranormal should be. And you can't help but feel like on top of the world when people are taking notice of you. But I can't explain the lows that you feel when it's not actual, or these promises don't happen. And it's kind of soul destroying sometimes, because I have a family that I adore, and I take a lot of time out in order to kind of live my dream to a certain degree, and they're sitting at home without me. So it's not just a kind of a hobby for me. It's got to work. It's got to reach these higher heights, really, unless, you know, it's kind of not worth it. To take away from my kids my time, I've got to leave a legacy, and that's the whole goal of it.
Us three are used to it now because it's been 2.5 years of us running this, and Saz, Gibbsy and Dan are amazing, and I think they're understanding that this isn't just about the ghost hunting side of it. It's not about the paranormal, it's everything else that kind of takes up your life. Obviously I work 14-hour days sometimes doing an edit, then coming here to film, and when you don't really see the episodes getting the recognition they deserve, it is quite soul destroying. And you know, it's a passion for me. I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I want to see us leave that legacy, like you've just said, where it's like, oh, the My Haunted guys, that's the way to investigate the paranormal, with that 24/7 surveillance, with real members of the public being involved. And you know, and you do see some overhyped stuff that's on YouTube or TikTok. TikTok's a really big one for it, isn't it? And it's getting millions and millions of views. And you know, we're in the same position as some other guys that we've worked with in the past as well, who were, you know, fighting for real paranormal, and it's not getting the recognition it deserves, because the paranormal it's a very niche market, isn't it? And people want to be scared, almost like a horror movie effect. You want to be scared when you watch it. You want to see things flying around rooms. And the reality is, it's just not like that. But we are blessed here at the hotel. We've had some really incredible moments, but it has to progress now. And that, for me, is the frustrating thing, is getting it out there so that everybody knows about the project.
I think we should talk about some of the stuff that, you know, has happened recently and what we expect may happen over September. So September, apparently, from what we've seen over the last 2.5 years, is the more active month of the year, which is ironic because a lot of people come here in October and think that, oh, it's Halloween, it's going to be amazing, whereas actually September seems to be. But last week, Harry, you had the most insane moment with this child's voice, when all you were doing was innocently just bringing up someone's bags. I think that's just crazy. I think as soon as, because we came back from the mansion, filming at the mansion, and we were immediately showing it, and we were all in shock when we listened to it back. It says, "My name's Billy." Now, this was at 2:45 in the afternoon. It was just you up there. So, where's it come from? I just can't work out. That, for me, is such an epic moment that we need to discuss. How do we get to the bottom of this?
Bringing these Glaswegians up, who have their own paranormal team up, met them for the first time, kind of was telling them that how active this place is, and the fact that even still people think that, you know, like, I guess in all these ghost channels get it, that we fake things. And as I was explaining that, well, we can't, because there's cameras everywhere monitoring everything, this voice happened.
And here is the sound isolated from first the function room.
I'll go up the stairs and go up into the washroom and please tell me you're not that high head, God, I was bad with it.
they were blown away with it. I was blown away with it at the time, but none more so when I got back from the mansion, sat down and listened to this voice, and I was speechless. This was probably the best thing I've ever caught in here in terms of voice phenomenon. And it didn't just stop there, and I don't think I've told you this, boys. It was Saturday night. I was in my flat, and I went to the kitchen, and someone so loud came down the stairs, and I thought it was my little boy getting out of bed and coming down the stairs, or one of my cats. There was no one there. It was so blatantly clear, these steps coming down the stairs. And then it happened again the next night. Now, I don't know if whatever's just triggered off all this activity all of a sudden, because the place feels different, and not in a kind of a spooky way, but I think the energy's changing in here, and I don't know why.
I'm really interested in the long-term sort of scientific aspect to this. It's never been done before where you've ran an ongoing investigation for literally years. And it's one pattern that we have recognised is that September is the active month here. But interestingly enough, you always said that September was an active month here before we even started the project. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if that replicates again, because then you're delving into the realms of regular patterns. You know, we measure weather systems here, we measure time codes, dates, things like that. But for the whole month of September to be highly active, last year was insane. I really can't wait to see that again. But that voice that we captured, the fact that we were able to isolate the sound from the stair camera to where it was loudest, you hear it clear in the function room with the two guests anyway, which for me sums up the My Haunted project. Guests just having that experience. But to isolate it to the stair camera and hear it so clear as if a kid is stood under that camera saying, "My name's Billy." And this is the beauty of it. We can check every other camera and know that you can't hear it here, you can't hear it there, you can hear it faintly there. Isolate the sound and take it to that point and confirm, and absolutely confirm, that it is unexplainable.
So I'm really interested to know, where would you guys investigate? You know, the big places you have like 30 East Drive and Ancient Ramming, there's Newsham Park Asylum up the road. Like, where would you go and investigate now? Say if you were to add a place to the project, where's your top places? Like, I've always been fascinated by 30 East Drive simply because it is literally a council house. It's like just a semi-detached house. And I know it's like overly hyped by the film and all that thing, but it must have started from somewhere, right?
I think for me, boys, Enfield Poltergeist House. Now, that's like 30 East Drive on steroids for me. That's the thing I kind of grew up with, sort of scary documentary on it, of a girl kind of floating towards the window. The fact that this entity was communicating through a young girl. And even when she had, I think it was water in her mouth, she was still had this old man's voice coming through. It sent like chills down my spine at that time. And from sources, I believe there's still hauntings that go on there, even though they had like exorcisms and whatever in there. But yeah, that's the place for me. That's the place I'd love to add to the whole project.
When it comes to 30 East Drive, I'm on the side, because it's kind of 50-50 in it. Some people are skeptical, some people believe it. And having spoke to, you know, reputable people who have investigated it before, I know there have been experiences in there, but I've never seen, and this is going to make me sound really, really biased, I know, but I'm being completely honest here, I've never seen activity come out of that house like it has out of this building. Now, maybe if you cover the location in cameras 24/7 like we're doing here, you may see that, but I've never seen an apparition in that house. I've seen one here, I've seen multiple here. I've never heard voice phenomena come out of that house in anyone's recording. You think the amount of people that are there week in, week out with events companies, private investigations, something concrete surely has come out of that. Now, it's not just us capturing the concrete evidence here, it's actual guests as well. You know, guests are capturing stuff on live videos. It's insane. I've done the Ancient Ram Inn, which is the other most talked about place in the UK. And for me, I've done 2 investigations there. I believe it is overhyped. Now, that's not being disrespectful in any way. I don't mean it to sound like that. But again, it makes me sound biased, but I've not experienced things at the Ancient Ram that I've experienced here. I used to do investigations here back in 2015, and I was experiencing things here then that I've not experienced at these other locations. Not even like the likes of Newsham Park Asylum, and some massive other locations as well. The only place that's come close to here is Sadler's Farm in Pendle Hill. That was absolutely insane.
I think, like you said, with these buildings like 30 East Drive, what if it was covered by 24 cameras like here? Maybe they would catch as much as us. Just because this place is classed as the most haunted building in the country, or whatever people are saying it is, I think it's mainly because of the way we run it here and the fact that we're always here, we're always filming. If something happened right now, I've got a coffee cup in front of me, if that moved, we would see it on 3 different cameras. And I think that's the beauty of it. And like you said, people have seen these live, and you can obviously go to My Haunted HQ. Anyone watching at home, you can go to myhauntedhq.vhx.tv, where you can join us on a far more intimate journey of the My Haunted project, where we post weekly videos about all of the stuff we talked about now, the behind the scenes stuff. And then we also have live cameras. Right now, there's 2 live cameras currently running in the hotel upstairs. And people are at home watching them. We now have a new Discord as well, the My Haunted Project Discord, where there's people. And I think that's what we really try to do with the project, is make it a community of people who can all join this investigation. I think it's definitely the future of paranormal investigations.
Yeah, Brett, I think to elaborate on that, I want to say thank you so much for everyone who subscribes to us. I mean, our fan base is amazing. But with VHX, you see a raw, unplugged version of us, don't you, really? And, you know, I feel like we're a little bit more ourselves. YouTube is a show where we compile a load of footage over weeks, and we don't kind of let loose with our personalities a little bit. And I think probably me guilty of it more so. I don't feel like I've been myself for quite a while, and it's only recently I've got my mojo back. I don't know if you've noticed over the past couple of weeks, I'm bringing a bit more fun into it again and a few more laughs. But I mean, I just can't thank the fans enough, really, and everything they bring to it, and turning up our open days and just loving it. And that's the most rewarding part of this. As I said, Brett says it all the time. It's the community and the friends that people have met on this journey. And again, thank you so much, guys. Listen, a big, massive shout out to the whole team. I said, without them, I probably would have packed this in quite a long time ago. I'm very much a person who starts a journey and gets bored very easily. But I mean, obviously it started with you, Brett, and then Danny came on board. And now we've got Gibbsy, Saz and Dan. And every one of them works tirelessly. I said, Dan, loves it. It's ridiculous how much he loves the paranormal. Gibbsy and Saz, likewise, but are doing so much work with everything behind the scenes. I can't thank them enough. And it's a little family we got together. And that's how I like to run businesses, because you don't feel like you're in work then. You feel like it's a big family.
If you're an avid follower of this show, VHX is the place to be, because it is the comedy side, it is the raw, gritty, behind the scenes stuff. You just get that version that you don't get on YouTube. And obviously, as the producer of the show, I've worked in TV all my life with the paranormal, so you kind of have to have that show aspect to it, which is, unfortunately, we live in an era now where people get bored after 10 seconds of watching something, so you have to have those highlights at the beginning with a little glitchy kind of opener. You have to you have to almost go straight into it, and that's why we compiled 2 3 weeks worth of highlights here and put them straight into it. It's all very serious. And yeah, we did start series 1 with a lot more comedy in it. And yeah, maybe we have lost that, but I think that's maybe just because none of us really enjoy YouTube that much, to be completely honest. I think we enjoy VHX more because it's the community, like you've just said. Like the open day here at the hotel a few months ago was one of the best things ever. Seeing that many people turn up. I think it was 300 people here at one point, and people traveling 6-7 hours to get here as well is epic. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Can't thank the community that we have built. And if we ever start running events in other locations, like, you know, festivals or paracons, things like that, you can imagine how much fun we're going to have with those people. It's going to be epic. But yeah, VHX is that lovely behind the scenes, featuring all the guests' experiences that come in here, you know, that maybe don't make it onto YouTube, because let's be honest, we are so blessed with activity here, like a little bang or the 2 knocks that you get on room 5's door, which is such a regular thing. People will get bored of that if they see it every week, but for the guests who are actually here, when they have that experience firsthand, it means the absolute world to them. And that for me is the best part of this job, seeing those guest reactions, seeing that amazing moment, and people for the first time witnessing their first ever genuine paranormal experience. Really cannot wait for the future. We've all put in so much effort to this, and the rest of the team as well, the guys in America, that eventually it will all just fall into place and we will conquer the world.
Yeah, I think one big thing about all of this is the community that we've created through it, and we're just looking to expand that now, because we believe that this is the best possible way of doing a paranormal investigation. The people who come here believe that, and I think more people just need to know about it, and I think it's only onwards and upwards from here for sure.
Yeah, we definitely do things different, and it goes to show when Daryl Marston of Ghost Hunters approaches us and wants to do the show in America, and that brings me on to America. My God, we had such a journey when we went there, met the most amazing people, and what a group we've got over there as well. Daryl, Jeff, Trey, and even Rowdy, the owner, with Sarah. It was insane, and I am so proud to have these guys as part of the journey as well. These guys are doing phenomenal, and they make it all worth it as well. America was a bit of a leap of faith, and I couldn't be prouder of the project when I see them guys enjoying themselves and bringing big names and the public into this unbelievable place. I'm blown away, and I thank everyone who works as part of the My Haunted project, and I love you guys to bits.